On my channel, we are going to be going back a little old school and kind of doing a throwback video or a where are they now type of video, going back 5 years ago to my June 2019 favorites. This is when I was still doing 5 favorites and 1 regret. And I'm going to talk you through those 5 items, tell you where they are now, kind of how things have changed with them, if I'm still using it or if I've changed and I have something else I'm using instead now. Now, I feel like as I'm going into this year, it's a little bit different. I am now 50 years old. I have changed a good amount as far as my body. It has slowly been a change, and I'm trying to get that back kind of under control. I've kind of changed up even, I feel like then, looking back at this video, I personally looked at it and I was definitely kind of more into what would be considered fast fashion or things that kind of were in the moment, trends that were happening, things that I kept kind of like buying more inexpensive stuff rather than taking the time to really find items that work for me and kind of finding what I like. And I've kind of stepped away from those kind of quick, fast, less expensive items and now kind of gone into some of them more expensive, not all of them, but more items that I will keep for years to come and use over and over and wear over and over again. I just feel like that for me is so much better of a feeling than kind of always feeling like, oh, what do I wear now? What's the newest thing? What's on trend? Not necessarily what really resonates with me. And I find I like to have items that I can just grab them. Even when I was buying all the different stuff, I tended to gravitate back to certain items and kind of a uniform of things. And so I've just found different ways to kind of tweak that now. I feel more like myself in these things, which overall improves my whole kind of attitude and feelings when I am getting dressed. So let's jump into these 5 items. The first item was a dress from Amazon. I was big into wearing kind of those shift dresses you could just throw over as the warmer months came in. And those are fine. They're great. I'll be honest, I use them as cover-ups for the beach here and there. They're easy to throw on, but they are not the most flattering on me. So I have personally now found that I like to, and it is a little bit on trend right now, but it is more of an athletic skirt that has bike shorts underneath of it, because to be honest with you, a lot of times when I was wearing these dresses, I just threw a pair of bike shorts on underneath them because it was easier and more comfortable. And so with that, this type of skirt has been around forever. It was back in the day, like I remember my mom wearing them as tennis skirts, and they've always been some sort of athletic skirt. But I find at this time of year, it's been great because as I've been talking about, I've been out walking more and working out and just being more active. And these skirts are more comfortable that way. Plus, I can put whatever type of top with that, which really kind of makes the outfit look different. I personally have found 2 that I like from Athleta. There's one that's a little bit more kind of flares away from the body, and one that is supposed to be more for hiking, which is a little bit more straight and tapered. Now, I have worn these, as I mentioned, just in my daily things, but I have also worn these by, instead of wearing them with sneakers, throwing on just a nice pair of sandals and a cute top, and I can create an outfit with this as well. So it's a great transition piece, and it's a little bit more flexible for me than that Amazon dress that was a shift dress that was just very A-line. The number 2 item that I talked about in that video was a pair of sunglasses from Diff, and they were aviators, and they had a blue frame to them, kind of a teal blue. They were cute, but again, they were very trendy. They were fairly inexpensive, but they definitely weren't really, at the time, I felt like they were my style. But I talk about my 3 words a lot, and that is comfortable, effortless, and chic, and they were none of those things. Now, the pair of sunglasses that I have worn now for over 2 years, 2.5, this summer will be my 3rd year wearing them, is a pair of sunglasses from the brand Chimmy. They are called the 01, I think. They are very classic, very simple, just straight black. They look good no matter what your outfit is. You don't have to think a lot about it. Just a classic black. I will say they are in the $100 and something range. I have purchased a second pair when I found them on sale off season one year because I am nervous that at some point they're gonna break. But my first pair, knock on wood, has made it through 3 years. And the only thing I've noticed is the arms have kind of started to flare out a little bit. But these sunglasses to me are very classic, very timeless. They work with any outfits I wear. I love that they don't have the little nose piece so I can stick them up in my hair. Honestly, this tends to be what I do more than anything else, is kind of pop them in that way. But these sunglasses have been, I have more than got my wear for value of these, because the other ones that I was previously buying were less expensive, but I wasn't wearing them all of the time. These are the only sunglasses I grabbed for over the last 2+ years. The number 3 item that I had talked about during that video was a lip product. And it's funny because I actually tried to use my own link and to find that product in my makeup. I don't have it anymore, which makes sense because realistically right now it would not be probably in the best shape. You know how lipsticks start to get that like Crayola crayon scent? That one would have been having that. But I can't even find the color. It was by Lancome, and now that I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of a color I would like. But I will say the 2 items that I tend to grab for pretty much every single day is the Stila liquid lipstick. I'll have to put the color name down below. It is actually what I have on my lips right now. And MAC in the color Syrup. I had this for so long and I repurchased it a little while ago. Actually, when I was looking for that Lancome lipstick, I found my old one and it smelled like a Crayola crayon, and I threw it away and I got a new one of it because it is very similar to this Stila. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more pink to it. This has a little bit more plummy tone to it, but they are a great lip color that just works very well with the overall makeup that I do every single day. This one is definitely something I wear more when I'm going out. This one is a little bit more, this is not drying, but this is more long wearing. This one is a little bit more just kind of throw it on and go type of feel. Next up was a concealer that I talked about, the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I liked that. It was great. I didn't repurchase it. I think I used it up because I don't still have it. So that to me says that I probably used it up. But it also says to me if I didn't repurchase it, that I really didn't love it quite enough to need another one. My 2 go-to concealers, again, this is in my everyday makeup case, is the Tarte Shape Tape. And I always use this in the color, I think it's light medium honey. I'll put the exact name down below, but the key with this is finding the color that works for you. In the winter, I use this under my eyes. I use it to highlight my face. And right now, I'm just using it to highlight my face, and I went back to this for under my eyes. And it is from Saie. I never know how to say this. S-A-I-E. Again, I will put the color down below, but this is what I have been using under my eyes. This is a much more pigmented and a little bit more of a drier formula, where this one is definitely much more just moisturizing. It's a lighter coverage. It works on very easily. It doesn't really settle into fine lines. Both of these are just great products that I have been loving and using over and over. I have repurchased this over and over. This is fairly new to me within this year, but I would definitely repurchase. The last item that was a favorite of mine was my Erin Condren planner, and I have that still, not the same one, obviously, but this is something that I have been using for, I want to say, a good 8 years. I consistently repurchase a new one every year. I do my calendars personally. I get one from September to September because I like the ability of when I come back from summertime, when school starts, to kind of, that's when I feel like I do my refresh and everything kind of starts over. So that is when I like to start a calendar. Plus, I like that this one runs through the entire summer, so I can schedule all of my summer activities and things through it. And then again, as I mentioned, when I get into September, I can really just start, feels like a fresh slate. I just start over, and I do change the front every year. I get a different type of front. This one was a leather bound one. Thought I had my name on it, but I don't see that anywhere. But I do love these, and I do stick with these very consistently. It is my go-to planner that I just love. I do keep a digital calendar as well, but there's something about just I write to-do things and lists in my physical calendar. I love having it on my desk. The last thing that I typically talk about, and in that video had mentioned, was regrets. And I actually had no regrets that month, which was a little bit unusual for me because I feel like I generally kind of have at least one regret. But I just thought this would be fun. I haven't done this in a really long while. I personally enjoy looking back at these videos and seeing what I liked and how things have changed for me, both as far as even my makeup, my hair, just the differences there, and then just seeing how my style has changed and just how I have evolved through this whole journey as well. I'm sure a lot of you have been here with me for quite some time, and we just kind of are evolving. And as I mentioned, now that I'm 50, I'm kind of taking a different outlook on things. I will be doing next week probably an empties video. If you have not seen my empties videos, I think those are the most informative videos ever because I physically show items that I used up. I tell you what I thought of them, and I tell you if I repurchased it, and if I didn't, why I didn't. So make sure that you're subscribed and following along so you can see that next weekend when it comes out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if this is something you would like to see again, and I hope you have a great weekend.